those principals, those coaches are there to help them and to let them know, hey, you've got this arm. We care about what's going on. Because a disengaged principal, I don't care what else you do from there on out, you've got a disengaged campus. And the second is the listening sessions that Dr. Smith and other members of the staff have done at the campuses where they go there. Because we all know when you do a listening session, there's two ways to do it. One is to set it up in a way that you're only going to get positive feedback and everybody gets to pat you on the back and you don't really get much. Or you're honest about it. And as Dr. Smith will tell you, some of them have gone great, some of them are not so great. But a staff that feels that they can talk back and forth. And, you know, when the superintendent, or in private industry, when the boss shows up and actually listens and takes notes and doesn't necessarily agree with everything that is said, but I'm here to listen to it, that engages a workforce. They feel it. I've heard that from teachers. That's something they had, lip service had been paid at some times, but now they're like, no, he's actually on the campus. We get to tell him what we think, good, bad, or indifferent. And I think it goes a long way, and my hat's off to y'all for that.
I appreciate your comments on this one. We're working hard, and Aaron mentioned this. I think it's important to point out we are far from perfect, but we're striving to be. And so each and every day, each and every minute, we're trying to be better for our staff and make sure that our staff feels and is able to thrive in their workforce or thrive in their working conditions. And we know that'll pay a direct impact on kids. It has been a difficult couple of years, but I could not be more proud of the Belton ISD staff and what I've seen in this district over the past 2 years. So I'm very thankful for them, and we've got good work left in front of us.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda, action items. First, consider, discuss, take appropriate action regarding the employment of administrative employees. Dr. Smith?
I'm excited to welcome Todd Schiller to the podium tonight. He's got a few exciting administrative announcements for us this evening, and hopefully approval from our board.
Thank you. So we do have 3 recommendations for assistant principals for you tonight. The first one is Raina Albritton for assistant principal at North Belton Middle School. Raina has a master's degree from Concordia University, has a bachelor's from University of Texas, and is in her 10th year in education, has been the math coordinator here in Belton ISD for the last 2 years. Second, we have Tim Jones. Timothy Jones is an assistant principal for Belton High School as a recommendation for tonight. He has a master's degree from Texas A&M University, from bachelor's degree in University of Mary Hardin Baylor, and is in his 8th year in education and is currently residing as the instructional coach at Belton High School. And then we have Nicole Suman. Nicole is for assistant principal at Belton Middle School. Nicole has a master's degree from Lamar University, a bachelor's degree from Armstrong State University, and she is in her 7th year in education and comes to us from Killeen ISD, where she's serving as a teacher.
About that. Do we have a motion to approve the recommendation of additional personnel as presented? Ms. Lee? Mr. Taggart? All in favor? All right, that motion passes.
And with that, I'll get them to come over here to the front of the banner, and we'll take a few pictures of them.
Yep. Let's take our pictures. Okay, the next item, consider, discuss, take appropriate action regarding commission of a long-range facilities planning team. Dr. Smith.
We've talked a little bit about this to the board in the past. Mike Morgan is here tonight to tell you a little bit about the long-range facilities planning team that we'd like to get kicked off in the charter that they could have in front of them.
Good evening, Board. Mr. President, it's my pleasure to be here tonight. I'm here to ask you to approve the charter to allow us to convene a BISD long-range facility planning team. We believe that this team will bring stakeholders together to make our district stronger and better. The work will be data-driven. It will be strategic in nature. We'll use focus groups when appropriate to take deep dives to consider all opportunities, and it will serve as an important resource for providing us well thought out recommendations to our administrative team. The meeting schedule, as you can see, we would like to get on a meeting schedule of 5 set meetings per year, 2 in the fall semester, 2 in the spring semester, 1 in the summer, and then to convene focus groups as needed between these meetings to bring back, maybe to take to navigate the waters and take all possible solutions, bring several back to the long-range facilities planning team, where then they can make recommendations and bring back several recommendations to our administrative team that we can ultimately bring to you. We're asking members that they serve at least a 2-year term. We want them to be involved in this work long enough that they can truly understand not only all of the details and the facts, but they also are there long enough to see how exposure to that data and time and strategic discussions can provide real input into strategies and solutions for the district. There are several tools that we'll use to kind of guide this work. We envision a process that evaluates multiple data sources for each issue. We will use site visits when necessary to really see what's going on with our facilities, or maybe even with other districts' facilities. We will use consensus discussion protocols to come to our recommendations, and we'll use focus group input to help guide the discussion and see where it may go. So tonight, we would ask you to approve the charter as presented and allow us to begin the process of finding great team members that could be part of this planning team and help the district as we work towards not only meeting the complex needs of a growing district, but also in working towards the refinement of our long-range facilities planning.
Board, one of the key things I'd like to add on that is that this is different. I don't want any confusion to happen. We have a standing facilities committee where we have 3 board members serve along with myself, and we talk about facilities issues on a monthly basis. This is a long-term facilities planning team that advises the administration. This is not a board level committee. This is really to help us ensure that we're getting community discussion happening about long-range plans as a growing school district with the need to balance both growth and need for new facilities along with investment in our older facilities. So the purpose of this is really focused on providing guidance and recommendations for us as administration so that we have community thought partners in the process.
Open up to any questions, discussion?
I've got a quick question and then also a statement. I'll start with a question. So how do you want us to either A, be involved, or B, what's the selection process of community members going forward? And then my statement is that long-range facility planning team, the one from the last one that we had, is a huge piece of my journey to becoming a school board member. And it's just one of the pieces of my puzzle, but it was so informative, and it was just one of those things that I think community members who have an opportunity to serve on something like that become so much more educated about the broad, vast, expanse of what a school district is, and all the moving parts that it takes to make it work, and what it takes to actually give quality education to our kids. And until I did it, I really didn't have a full and complete understanding. So I think it's super valuable. I'm glad we're doing it again.
Mm-hmm. You want to speak to that first? So the one thing that will be a little bit different about this committee is this will be more of a partnership between parents, community, and district employees as well. So back to our bond exploration committee last fall was made up entirely of parents and community members. We will want the expertise of some of our district staff and the perspective of some of our campus staff to be on this team as well. We had a pretty detailed discussion with the facilities committee back in May about kind of what of all possibilities, what would it be best for this committee to look like? We would love to have somewhere around 30 to 40 members on this committee. We would love for these committees to serve a 2-year term, most of the members, and then we would like for them to be involved in particular focus groups. So if we were to want to take a really deep dive into ideal elementary size or ideal middle school size, then we would want to convene a team of people that were really interested in doing the research and doing the work behind what the outcomes of that discussion may be. And so that's kind of the work. We will reach out and try to make sure we have a representation, a fair representation from across the district. We'll want to have parents of all age groups involved. We'll want to have people that really have a stake in what's going to be going on and the discussions that need to take place, and make sure that we get as many of those people on the committee as we can. Really, the thing on this is we want some longevity. We want to have a team that really gets to work together and really takes a deep dive looking at the data and make data-driven decisions.
Just regarding board role in that, if you have recommendations, just let us know. Being that this isn't a board committee that you all have established, this is an administrative committee that we're establishing. We plan on taking the lead on getting the right people involved, but if you have ideas on who you might want involved, feel free to let us know.
Mike, who would preside over the group and develop agendas and those kinds of things?
It'll be myself and members of the teams that I work with input from other administrators in the district.
And also a fantastic idea. And it just further supports the fact that we're trying to get community involved and trying to get other people involved other than just administration and then us up here. So that's just another example. So great job, administrative team. Matt, good job.
Then you can. I just want to echo what Manuel said. It is a fantastic idea. And I think there were some key words that, for me, made it even more fantastic. Partnership, transparent, making us better. And I think another word that I think just is what makes this such a great idea is this: we're being proactive. Y'all are being proactive, not just for the growth that we're experiencing, but just staying ahead of what we need to keep doing what we need to for our kids. I think the only question I have is just what's follow-up look like for us? That if we don't serve or if we don't go in and observe, and I'm sure y'all have already thought of it, but would it be board reports, or what would the follow-up be for us to inform us?
I have a couple of thoughts on that. I think in some regards, it will take the form of discussions that we bring back to the facilities committee and then to the later board. So it'll be, these are the things we talked about. These are some of the things that came to the forefront. Now, please give us input, tell us what you think so we can help move the work forward. I also would envision, as we go through our meeting cycle throughout the year, that you guys are giving reports, either formally or informally, that you guys are giving updates and reports on what the committee's working on and kind of where the direction that the work's taking. I think there would probably be some opportunities as well for y'all to give input on areas that you would like for the committee to take a look into as well.
Any other questions? Do I have a motion? I have Mr. Taggart. Do I have a second? Ms. Jordan. All right. McDonald. All those in favor? That passes. I even said that in my head before I said it. Okay, next item, consider, discuss, take appropriate action regarding RFP number 2206-905-286 for construction manager at risk services for elementary school number 13. Dr. Smith?
I don't even have to say anything. Ms. Morgan's right there, so take it away.
I am. Thanks again. It's my pleasure to come to you tonight with this recommendation. It is to consider, discuss, and take appropriate action regarding the RFP for our CMAR services for our next elementary school, number 13. At the board's regularly scheduled meeting in June of 2022, the board approved CMAR as the delivery method for the design and construction of our next elementary school. It authorized at that time the superintendent to issue an RFP for the project, and the RFP for construction manager at risk services was released on June 26th. Using our criteria that was established in the RFP, 5 evaluators scored each proposal. They were ranked based on the evaluation. I will say this, all of the firms that submitted were well qualified and capable, and we're very thankful for the interest that each of them had in working with Belton ISD, and there's no doubt that each of the firms that were represented were well qualified to do this project. Based on the evaluation process and the results, tonight I stand here to recommend that American Constructors be named or allow us to pursue a contract with them for the CMAR services for elementary 13 design and construction.
All right, I'll open it up to any questions or discussions. Ms. McDonald? No? No? Okay. Quick bit of just housekeeping on this one before I call for a motion to approve the recommendation. For the record, myself and Ms. Bass will be recusing ourselves from this vote. Okay? So do I have a motion to approve the recommendation contract with American Constructors as the CMAR for elementary school number 13? Mr. Alcozer? Mr. Taggart, second. All in favor? Okay, that is 4 yeses. So that motion is approved. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we will move on to reports next. And Dr. Smith?
As we've talked about regarding community engagement, we can't do what we do for kids without great support from our community groups. And BEEF is one of those amazing groups of community members that get together to support the students in Belton ISD and the staff in Belton ISD. Tonight, I'm honored to welcome Ellen Burnett, our Executive Director of BEEF, to give us a report on BEEF for the year.
Hi, everybody. We have a slideshow that I think they're pulling up. But I'm Ellen Burnett. I'm the president of BEEF this year, and I'm just here to tell you a little bit about what we have done over the last year, and then for those that don't know what BEEF is, kind of give you a little background on who we are. So BEEF was established in 1992 by a group of dedicated Beltonians and former BISD students and employees, and they got together and decided to support the district. Our mission is to support BISD student achievement and success by partnering with the community, and we do that by providing resources for innovative programming not funded by tax revenue. So we have teacher grants, we do dual credit scholarships, we do student scholarships, we do paraprofessional scholarships. We are made up of 32 board members, and we have over 1.5 million in assets. We are an all-volunteer board. You might recognize some of those names up there. We're a very diverse group of community leaders, business owners, parents, former educators, and the best part about it is that we are all volunteer. So everybody gives their time and energy and effort to support BISD. We have a fall event and a spring event every year that helps us raise funds. And then annually we do our employee campaign. So the employee campaign runs throughout the year, and that's where teachers can donate a portion of their paycheck to every month to support BEEF, and it all goes back directly into grants and scholarships. So any money that they give goes right back into their classrooms. Boots and Barbecue is our fall event. This year it's actually red carpet. So we've had Boots and Barbecue for the past couple years, and this year the theme is Havana Nights, and I will tell y'all a little bit more about that later. But we raised over $122,000 last year. Our tennis and golf tournament combined raised about $70,000, and we were able to give that all back to the district. So we give out our teacher and campus grants annually. Usually in December, we have what's called Prize Patrol, and our board members load up on buses. We take big red cowbells, and we go into the classrooms and surprise the teachers. They don't know we're coming. They don't know that they got the grant, and they get to take a picture with a big check, and then we leave a little keepsake for them that they can hang on their wall with their grant-specific amount and check. This year, we had innovative grants ranging from sensory labs at elementary schools, Spanish libraries across the district, and we also had some science creation stations. We were able to award $24,000 in paraprofessional scholarships. This money goes directly to our paraprofessional employees in the district, and it allows them to further their education and open up career opportunities. A lot of them actually want to become teachers, and so we try to put an emphasis on giving those grants to those that are seeking to get their teacher certification. We were able to sponsor 62 students with our dual credit fall and spring scholarships. That's $15,000 that we gave, and those are kids that would not normally be able to participate in the dual credit program because of the cost. So we were able to allow that for that to happen. We gave out over $300,000 in student scholarships this year. Something that we have learned as we've been researching other education foundations is that we give out the most scholarship money pretty much across the state. So we're really proud of that fact. We are able to give a lot of money to our students to go on and further their education. So we build community partners and we have named scholarships. This picture is from the Denise Petter Memorial Scholarship Check presentation. She was a coach in BISD who lost her battle with cancer, and her family established a scholarship in her name. So this was given out at a run honoring her. And then we also had the Bailey Rhodes Scholarship established this year. She was one of our elementary students who also lost her battle with cancer, and she was the #1 soccer fan in the district. So her family established a scholarship in her name, and we were able to award it at the halftime at one of the Lady Tigers games. Every year we receive money from the Carpenter Foundation, and I feel like it's important to point this out. The grants that we receive from Carpenter allow us to cover almost all of our administrative costs, including our employee. For BEEF, we have an executive administrator that helps our foundation run, and we're able to use those grants to fund that so that all the money we get from the community goes directly back into the schools and to the students. And like I said, Havana Nights, save the date. It's going to be October 15th this year. It'll be at Schoaf's. We'll have live music. There'll be auctions, good food. Ronnie always does it well. So we look forward to having you. If you know anybody who wants to be a sponsor, please have them reach out. And I'm sure you'll see a lot of stuff blasted around the community on how to get involved. And that's all I have.
All right.
Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you. Any questions? Anyone? Oh,
No.
Dr. Oh, wait.
Go ahead.
I've got people. Ms. Bass?
Just a comment, just to say, what y'all do is truly remarkable, and how many students and staff that you bless, and we're just so appreciative. And like you said, y'all are just a bunch of volunteers that give a lot of your time to do this for our staff and students. So thank you, thank you, thank you to all of the names that were listed.
I just want to say real quickly, I gave Ellen a different title when I introduced her. Sorry about that, Ellen.
It's okay,
She
Matt.
does amazing work. The entire BEEF board does, and all of the volunteers for BEEF.
I mean, if y'all want to pay me to be executive director.
Whatever title we need to give them, let's give them. But I appreciate their work immensely because they do. Her point on the dollar amount for scholarships, I haven't seen it before, and they do really good work. It's excellent, excellent.
I just want to say thank you to all the folks that are on your board, and especially to you, because I know being president is a lot of work. So thank you for doing that. I know you've got things that you need to be doing in your personal life, but thank you for your dedication to the BEEF board.
Absolutely happy to do it. Thank y'all.
Yeah, and just one more.
Thank you. Oh, hold on.
Oh, you know, this is not, story time of my life tonight, but Manuel and I also both served on BEEF, and other board members have as well. It is another way that community members who are fortunate enough to be involved in something like that can get to know so much more about the district and all the wonderful things that are going on and all the needs and how great our school district is. And we really do appreciate you, Ellen. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. It's an honor to serve.
Thank you very much. Next update is Parents as Partners update.
Over the past few months, since February, we've been bringing to you ways to engage our parent community more in our work. And we promised last month that we would give you another update this month on a couple of key items on how we're progressing there. So we have numerous members from our administrative team that'll talk to you a little bit about our progress.
Good evening. We are going to provide you an update from 3 specific areas tonight, from teaching and learning, from student services and operations, and then from our communications department. From the teaching and learning component, we have now updated our website so that if you go onto every school's website, if you go to Schools and Families tab, you will see a library book collection that will take you directly to the library collection for that specific campus. In the past, we did have that on our website, but we had it where you had to enter in by campus. Now this will be directly on each campus's website. In addition, this week we will be sending a letter to every parent of a student in the system. That letter will provide them information on how to log on to the library collection. So you can get in and you can see the library collection as any individual in the community. However, if you want to specifically see what your child has checked out or read, then you'll need to log in, and so they'll be provided with the ability to do that. And then we'll also provide them an opportunity in that letter to sign up if they would like to serve on any review committee for a resource. And so those are reconsideration committees that we have. If there's a specific review we're looking for parents, we'll have that list of any parent in our system who would like to volunteer to be on those. And then we'll also provide them in the letter information about our new website. So by the start of school year, we plan to have a better forward-facing opportunity for parents in terms of seeing our year-at-a-glances for our curriculum, as well as just access to information in a parent-friendly way. And so that'll be coming by the start of the school year. And so that's what we've done for teaching and learning. I'll turn it over now to Mike to talk about school safety.
Thanks, Deanna. Yeah, we have a few updates this month on the areas from operational areas, and one is on school safety. This one's going to be important, and it is getting groups, and I'm really excited about the groups that we're going to be able to bring together, but it's parents, teachers, and students on one side that we're really excited about. We are going to have principals and assistant principals there, and a lot of the ones that kind of head safety efforts on our campuses. But we've also had a tremendous response, not only from law enforcement, and I believe every law enforcement agency in Bell County is going to be represented in some capacity. And then we also have community resources such as mental health resources, emergency management resources, and members of that community as well. And brought together for one purpose, and that's going to be to explore strategies that could make our campuses and make our students and staff safer. So it's a protocol that we've seen some other districts use in the past. We've done some study on it, and we really feel like that this is timely, and it's going to be an important discussion for us to have with our parents, teachers, and students as we get ready to convene another school year. So very excited about our safety task force. Some other updates. We've been talking to you in the last couple of months. Gave you a report back in about some of the work we did this spring, but we have taken some of the feedback and some of the input that we've gotten from parents and teachers, from our community listening sessions, from various surveys, student surveys, thought exchange, and that work has guided many of the discussions that we've had in the last week, and we will have as soon as tomorrow. We had an administrative retreat last Wednesday, and we had our safety summit on Thursday with over 100 district staff members there who were involved in one way or other in safety implementation decisions. A lot of that work guided the content on those days where we studied data and we looked at solutions that came from that. And then tomorrow in our student services summit, a lot of the feedback that we've gotten and the input we've gotten will be front and center as we have those meetings and we talk about ways to get better. So we're excited about those opportunities that we've had and that we will have. And look forward to having those discussions and look forward to continuing to work with our campus staff and continuing to gain input on these areas. And I'll pass it off to Jen Bailey and talk about some communication efforts.
Good evening, board. Last month, I talked to you a little bit about how we're building partnerships with parents through two-way communication. And one of the tools that we have at our disposal to do that is pretty powerful, called Thought Exchange. And at the end of last month, we sent out a Thought Exchange question to all of our parents. The question was, as Belton ISD plans for the 2022-23 school year, What would you like district leaders to know that will help ensure each and every student engages in an exceptional learning experience? And we had 766 people participate in the thought exchange, and they submitted 603 thoughts. And the major themes from their submissions kind of fell into some broad categories, like Mike has already mentioned, student behavior and consequences for bad behavior. Parent and school communication is a high priority for our families, and as is parent involvement, and safety and security. And so those are going to be our areas of focus, and to continue this two-way communication, we will be following up with the community in our future communication efforts on our work in these areas. And with that, do you have any questions for any of us?
I'll start down here. Ms. Bowes, anything? Mr. Taggart? No? Oh, wait, are you reaching for your microphone? No? No? I can't tell if you are or not. Oh, there you go, okay.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I mean, this is all great stuff. Man, these are great meetings when you hear stuff like that. So all I can do is smile about it.
When will the, y'all just did this at the beginning, that's a lot for 1 month. Will this be an ongoing monthly? Will it be every 2 months? How's it going to work going forward?
I think, so we've been getting feedback on different things since February when we first talked to y'all about this. And so our action steps that we've laid out, we've been informed by many of those conversations. The thought exchange feedback deliberately is we know themes that parents are interested in, and so what you'll see is increased communication from Belton ISD in those areas about what we're currently doing and what we're exploring for the future. So an example on that one, the safety and security item that Jen and Mike both mentioned, obviously that's on everyone's mind after some of the challenges and tragedies that we've experienced in the state of Texas this spring. And I think it's really important to note what Mike's doing. We know that that's a highlight that our parents are concerned about. So what are we doing? We're pulling community together to talk about it, build off of their solutions, their ideas, and continue to improve as a system. This is a way for us, the more we can increase that two-way communication, it's a way for us to inform our continuous improvement process because we believe they can help us immensely. So that's an example of how you'll see follow-up on that. We get some feedback, we host a forum like this, we'll get some ideas for recommendations and implementation, and continue to follow up with our communication with the community so that they know we're taking action steps on it.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, next on the agenda is the superintendent's report.
Well, we skipped one.
I did?
We've got an exciting update from Mike Morgan once again. He could have just stood up there the entire night at the
Oh, I was
podium.
going to say,
think.
you're back again.
We, as you all know, back in September, we had a board vote to have Belton New Tech be its standalone campus. And with that, required some changes to Belton New Tech as well. And so Mike's going to give you a real brief update on the facilities piece of this that our teams have been working really hard on over the past few months.
Yes, once again, thank you. I'm really excited about this presentation, and it's fun to go from day to day and just see this taking shape. So as you know, last fall, the decision was made to turn Belton New Tech at Wasco into a standalone campus. And in that moment, a transformation began and a plan began to take shape. So I do want to say, that we will be given more information on some programs. We fully intend to have opportunities to get you guys over there, as well as talked with Principal Winters today to get our students and families in there as soon as we can and let everybody start seeing how these programs that have been added are going to be supported. I do want to say a very special thanks to members of the BISD team, our facilities crew. We have done almost all of the work in-house. And from the standpoint of when we started planning this back in December and January until we could actually get into the facilities, start doing some work, and I'm going to highlight a few of those. To our purchasing department, they were able to make a lot of really good things happen quickly. To our business and finance team to help us figure out ways to make this a reality, and then to all of the teaching and learning and others that kind of help put the programs together that are going to make up the new look at New Tech. But did want to talk. I just put a few pictures here. You really have to see some of this to believe it. But we some of the programs that have been added, and I just want to tie this into the facilities. So for athletics and PE, you can see the picture there to the top left. That is the old auxiliary gymnasium from that served many purposes over the years. And for the last decade or so, it's been a classroom to servicing some robotics and some of those types of things. But with a little bit of paint and touching up some lights and having the floor refinished, it's going to really serve our athletics and PE classes well there. You can see we're going to have a CTE unmanned drone and robotics programs. We took a storage area, and if you look at the top right picture, there was a storage area where our special programs and Bex stored a lot of things just there on the west side of our Bex gym, and with some creative thinking, we were able to take that space. We've been able to install a classroom and 2 shop areas, and we're going to have a state-of-the-art area for our unmanned drone program and our robotics program there. You can see in the middle picture, that is in the CTE auxiliary wing. We were able to combine 2 classrooms to 1, and that's going to house our CTE legal program. And you can see one of the sides of the classroom is going to be a traditional classroom. The other side of the classroom is going to be a courtroom, and that's going to allow students to live out legal experiences and from all different standpoints. And those that want to pursue a career in that are going to have an opportunity to do. Also, some other areas that have been impacted is turning the Hack Shack, which was originally the old BISD Nurses Cottage. We believe it's the oldest operating structure in the district. We think it was constructed in 1948. That will become the house of the home of our art program. The library and makerspace, which will be included in the New Tech main, and then the theater, which will use the Pittenger Performing Arts Center, as well as using a portable classroom in the interim until we can get a permanent home, and then along with the field house area. The work of our team, all of our team members, has been great. The only areas right now that we anticipate maybe some delays is completing the electrical, plumbing, and HVAC over at the field house. But everything else seems to be going to be completed on schedule. Furniture has started arriving, and we anticipate all classes will be up and running whenever students return in August. We do anticipate this is going to be a really cool thing for our kids. Can't wait to get you guys and allow our community to get over there and see what's going on. And I would open this up for any discussion at this time. Can I show one thing first? I know that the members of our facilities committee will recognize what these big sheets look like, but when there's a lot of red on the sheet, that's good, because that means something's been completed. So we're down to just the last few handful of things that haven't been completed yet on that project, and we're really proud of our staff for making that happen. So.
Okay, I'll start down here.
Just a comment to say thank you and just the whole staff and department for getting this ready so quickly, because it was less than a year ago when we approved this, and then how quickly I got things started. So just kudos to everybody that's the boots on the ground and all the office work. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you. We'll pass that on.
Okay. Well, thank you all very much. And I'm still, let me ask a question, not to put you on.
Sure.
But did we still, with our, we had to go through some change this year, and as someone who fears change, our enrollment for our incoming class, is it still the largest that we've ever had? Did we stick at that, or?
I'm not 100% certain. I know that it's still over 100.
Good.
I don't know that it's the largest class we've ever had, but I know it's an average to above average size class for what we've had.
Good. Excellent.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, considering I tried to skip over that last one, that was my fault. Now we are going correct to the superintendent's report. Yes, we are. All right,
sir.
Dr. Smith.
Board, thanks for being here tonight again. We're going to just hit 2 quick highlights. As you know, every January and every July, I come to you and give you a quick update on our key progress measures and how we're progressing as a system. Again, key progress measures are developed by administration, and they are in direct alignment with the goals. And so these are key pieces of work that we engage in over the course of a year that we believe are influential to help us strive toward the goal that you all adopt and you've affirmed in the past couple of years. So we have those 5 goals as a school district, and these key progress measures that you see in front. You can see under Goal 1, district departments will have strong evidence of stakeholder-informed two-way communication by January 2022. In January, I gave you an update on that, told you I feel good about our progress. We still had some tweaks to make along the way. We do still have some tweaks to make along the way in that. We'll continue to work on it, but we feel good marking that one as complete for the year. Just because this comes off of a key progress measure for this upcoming year doesn't mean two-way communication won't be a focus. This is only one of multiple measures, but we felt like it was a worthy investment for the beginning of this year. I want to point out that why I say that we still have good work to do in this area. We had 3 district staff members that were in district leadership positions, leading departments, that changed jobs over the course of the year. And so in some of those departments, I think we need to invest some more time over the year to really ensure that two-way communication is happening in every department in our system. Second one, ensure exceptional learning experiences for each and every student. You can see student reports on their learning being personalized and met their need. We said we would establish baseline data for this year, report out to you in December and report out to you in May. We've done that, and you can see those percentages there. More information will be coming on that as we continue to talk about creating the learning experiences that matter most for kids. Second one is developing tools such as rubrics to help support teachers in personalizing learning for students. The more we know our kids, the more we're able to access resources that help us teach each and every student right where they are, helps us ensure exceptional learning experiences for kids. Our teaching and learning department has been hard at work over the last 2 years working on those items. We do have definite tools that are available for our teachers to help us in that area, things like rubrics regarding the journey of a graduate and ICANN statements regarding the journey of a graduate help us in this area as well. But again, this does not mean that we won't focus on that moving forward, even though this falls off of this list. On the House Bill 3 performance goals, just like last year, we don't have all of the data ready and available for you. We should get the CCMR data later in September, and we'll report out on those. Attract, retain, support a world-class team of employees. You can see that refined professional learning system. I believe Deanna mentioned this to you in the board team of 8 training the other night. One of the things that we found most difficult with this is with 2,000 employees is really getting to a point where it's refined, communicated, and implemented for all 2,000 employees in our system. Hence the reason it's still marked in progress. We still have work to do on that. We want to make sure that each of our employees knows when they come into our system that they're going to set goals for continuous improvement, that they're going to be able to access high-quality professional learning to help achieve those goals, so every staff member is taking a step forward, that they're going to be given coaching and feedback in order to get there, and that they're going to have to spend time reflecting on those goals as well. As we continue to try and change this system and ensure that our staff feels that, we're going to need to continue to do work on how we communicate it and how we ensure it's happening. So that's why that one is still marked in progress. Second one, a multifaceted recruitment and retention plan will be implemented by January 2022. That was marked and complete back in January. Todd, Calvin, and guests presented to you the recruitment and retention program. We have been using that this year. I do believe we are in far better shape than many school districts around regarding teacher vacancies and staff vacancies. And I think that's a large part due to specific efforts to help get us there. One of those efforts was the re-implementation, I guess is the best word, Todd, the re-implementation of the Belton ISD job fairs. And we talked to you all about the success that we've seen at those job fairs over the course of the year. Develop a district-wide culture of value, support, and growth among students and staff, and we talked about feedback loops. We're definitely in the midst of all of that. You all highlighted that very effectively tonight. We're working to get feedback loops and information on multiple levels to ensure our students and staff have voice and are telling us if they feel valued, supported, and challenged to grow in our system. So we feel that has been a great effort this year that we feel is complete. Maximize our use of resources for current priorities and plans for the future. There were 2 key progress measures under there. The first was using facilities condition assessment data called the Facilities Condition Index and the educational adequacy scores to map out a 3, 5, and 10-year plan for us as we continue to move forward. These types of documents will be critical for that long-term facilities plan to be able to use and say, what are our needs going to be in the next few years? How do we know these? And we feel good saying that we have those completed based on the work of our facilities team and that report that you've all received. And then finally, a refined budget and staffing process will be implemented in the development of the 22-23 school year budget. As you all know, we adopted this key progress measure last fall, and about a week later, our former CFO left for another position at that time. We've hired a new CFO there, and our new CFO joined us in February. We're going to continue working on our budget and staffing refinement so that we can make sure that we're all feel great about that process for the future, but it takes a CFO to be involved in those conversations too. So that's why that is marked in progress. So just a brief overview for you all on how we're progressing on our district goals was part of the presentation. And then finally, I wanted to highlight some of the work that's been going on over the past week. You can see that in these pictures, we've spent some time, the top left picture is from the Safety Summit on Friday that Mike mentioned. This is our third annual Safety Summit where we partner with local law enforcement and administrators. And then this year we expanded to counselors and nurses and brought people together to talk about safety and security items that matter most to Belton ISD and to work together to make sure we're taking thoughtful steps for improvement. The other three pictures you can see from our administrative retreat. You can see that the administrative retreat wasn't a very far retreat because it happened at South Belton Middle School. And this is when we get together with our administrators in the school district to make sure that we're all pointed in the same direction for the upcoming school year. We've done good work, but we've got great work left to do in Belton ISD. And so that concludes my superintendent's report for the month.
Any questions, comments? No? Okay. Ty, did you have a question or comment? No? Okay. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Does anyone wish to pull an item for discussion?
I do. Item I, the TASB insurance renewal.
Okay.
If we can discuss that in a little bit more detail. If not, here, if we could table it and then come back for further discussion at a future date, whichever works.
Okay. Because I don't, if it's okay with everybody, I don't want to put anybody on the spot. Would it be okay to table it and have administration get back to us to make sure that we follow
I'm
the
okay with that.
correct protocols and everything?
We're entirely okay with that.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. Okay, so we pull that item and administration can get back with board members to make sure that we are following protocol. Any other items in the consent agenda that need to be pulled or further discussion? No? Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
Minus item I.
Minus item I. Thank you. Ms. Bass, Mr. Taggart seconds. All in favor? Thank you. Okay, that motion passes unanimously. Board request for new information and/or reports. I will start down here. Mr. Alcozer, Ms. Bass, Mr. Taggart. Okay. Okay, on to the next item then. As a reminder, we have the following upcoming events. You have those in your calendar. I'm not going to go through all these because you have them there. First day of school, big one coming up, August 17th. Convocation, Belton High School, the 15th. I believe if a board member wants to attend that, to let you know, correct? For the convocation?
We would love you to attend convocation. Obviously, as we live in the world that we live in, plans sometimes have to be adjusted along the way, so just be flexible. But right now we have it for the 15th of August.
Okay. Next regular board meeting, August 22nd, meeting at 5 p.m. and 6:15. We have, next on is public comments regarding non-agenda items. I don't see any. Okay. Then we will move, I think the only other thing that is up, I didn't see on the calendar, we have two birthdays coming up in August. We have Miss Lee and Miss Bass. They are turning 31, is what I've been told. So tell them happy birthday when you get a chance. Right now, the time is 7:33, and the board will now go into closed session for consultation with attorney, Texas Government Code Section 551.071, personnel, Texas Government Code Section 551.074. Thank you. Okay, the time is, let's see, hold on. The time is 8:26. There being no, the board will now reconvene in open session. There being no further business, this meeting